All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely afternoon in which the Most High, Ahaya has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Just coming with a little something. You know, I thought about my brothers of yesterday. Not so much as those today. I thought about my brothers, the prophets, and the chosen brothers of yesterday. How they had to go through some things. I mean, like beaten, tortured, killed, as in murder, and all kind of things. For us as so-called prophets and prophetess walk around here thinking and feeling we are saying something and we're doing something for the Most High, Ahaya, and have no spirit and truth of the matter in nothing we are saying and nothing we are doing. That's powerful. It's very powerful. Because I think back, just thinking back at what I have read that the prophets of yesterday had gone through and had suffered. Just to hear the prophets today talk a bunch of trash. You know why they talking trash? It's because they are not the true prophets of the Most High, Ahaya. See, the true prophet in this day and time now knows spirit and truth. See, the true prophet is going to speak truth, and it's going to have a spiritual setting to set the truth forth, and they connect as spirit and truth. But these people today, the prophets of so-called prophets that many people are following and hooking to and putting their claws in, believing everything they say and everything they speak, without even recognizing the fact that these people are not speaking anything that's connected to spirit and truth. See, the prophets of yesterday, they stayed in their lane. Yeah, they stayed in their lane. They stayed in their purpose and their reasons. They stayed within the realm in which Ahaya had called them to. These so-called people today who call themselves prophets, they're sad. They're what I call a sad soul. Because I don't even agree with soul, but I'm calling them let me go and give it what it really is. A sad spirit. They are sad spirits that has gone out their own way and have taken on positions that was not assigned to them by the Most High, Ahaya. Why? Must you know, Deborah? It's because I am a prophetess in the wilderness. If you go and read upon every prophet that Ahaya has chosen among men, and then read upon every prophetess that the Father has chosen upon women, and then you tell me who's who and what's what. See, that's another reason why the men don't want to see us as females take any position, because they know that the prophetess had a different position than the prophet. They know that. Only one really know is those that are chosen. So those false prophets, they are not aware of the prophetess position, because they so full of themselves in the flesh, they can't even discern this thing is spirit and it is truth. I sit back and I listen to them tell you all the worldly matters that means nothing, you guys. It means nothing, especially in such a midnight hour that we are in. What make them think it's about the worldly matters? And any prophetess that's also riding strong continually about the issue of the world instead of touching the realm of spirit and truth. Why? Because spirit and truth is revealing today, you guys, in a way that you can't study history and have receipts that's going to override what spirit and truth will bring to the light. Spirit and truth bring that which is dark into the light in the last days. Not history. Not your receipts on history. That is vain and it is vast. It is worthless to know the history of the flesh and not know the history of the spirit. And it's a sad thing for me because I realized today something I already knew, but yet it's a feeling that just shows you that, see, I told you, Deborah, I told you. It wasn't that I didn't believe the Most High. It's just that that's that stiff neck and rebellion that he say that the tribe of the house of Israel have within them. It does not exclude me. It includes me. So I think it's really sad that the people are not going to hear spirit and truth. And they're not going to get it. They're not going to receive it. They're not going to embrace it because of all those that are out teaching or teaching trash. Stuff to keep you from understanding spirit and truth so you can walk there in the light. So you can find the narrow gate. So I think that that's really a sad thing, a very sad thing. But the Father keeps comforting me, informing me, this too, Deborah, shall come to pass. It need be. So I just have to embrace it again in the spiritual realm and accept it for what Ahia keep instilling in me that it is. You know, it ain't gonna go, it's not gonna turn out another way outside of the way that the Father has already orchestrated it. So if you think that it's about Ahia showing you what's going on in the world and the darkness they're in, well, don't be no fool now, because a lot of that information, let me explain to you all. I think I was 14, 15, or in between 14 and 16. We had family members come into town, and they were people who knew that Bible. I mean, they spoke words that I could kind of embrace, even to today, remembering the things that they were speaking on. And I could embrace it, but on the other hand, the family members and everybody else saw it to be darkness. Especially when that family member and a couple of others end up in a mental hospital. So I say unto you, men that's out there that's trying to push this gender about all the issues that's happening in the darkness of man's power, stand down. Stop clowning. You ain't got nothing nobody else don't have. Ahia is not going to let you receive A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Only way you're going to receive that is in the spirit, and he has to give you that. The Father Ahia has to give you that. It is not something you're going to master of your own, or you're going to take on of your own. So a lot of you all are out there and you're trying to build up on your pride, boasting, and ego, trying to get recognition and be recognized by the young brothering, and you don't even understand the young brother will never make it. You all don't understand. We sit and try to build up on even the young men. The young men are the one that's gone. In case y'all didn't know that. They're the one that's gone because the Father left nothing for the children. And if the Father didn't leave nothing for the children, then the children are out there as well. So that's what I'm saying as far as you all out there thinking you're going to orchestrate everything back to the way it should be. Ahia did not give you that authority nor the key to do that. He gave you only what he has ushered unto you. And if he did not give you spirit and truth, then therefore you are to continue to speak the things of the world and be in the world. Okay? Because a lot of our men are speaking about a lot of things that surrounds the world. It has no power, nor authority, no glory, and no honor given unto the Father. It's only given unto them because this is what they orchestrated. And it is not of the Most High Ahia. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, each and every last one of you all, that you need to be about either spirit and truth, or get somewhere and sit down and be about your worldly matters. To me, I see them as in the rectum of the world, meaning Babylon. Our men are in the rectum of Babylon. Why? Because they can't see past Babylon. They can't see the power and the glory of my Father past Babylon. They have to see everything that's going on with Babylon and can't see what's going on in spirit and truth. And the spirit and truth is what's going to reveal the things in which we are to grip onto, not the issues that we cannot change. Knowing all these issues that our men are pouring out is vain and vexed, y'all. Because what are you going to do once you know it? You get the point? I'm going to tell you what it does. It caused man to be ever searching and looking. That's how they came up with all those books. And you all do not understand. You should see all the books they got out now that they're grafting that. Now they believe a whole new set of heathens books. It's a sad thing. It's a very sad thing in the way our men has orchestrated their so-called Hebrew Israelite movement, their mindset of awakening. It's off the chain. It is off the chain. It is the opposite of awakening. Their teaching, their ability to feel that they have something somebody else don't have. You don't have nothing nobody else don't have. You know, I sit back and I was listening to one today, and I said, poor thing. All that mess he's talking about, the Spirit had given it to me in my spirit a long time ago. When there was a guy, he was speaking of the conspiracy, and I always knew the government set him up, because I'm like, they put him there to tell all they dirt and to tell some of the issues that they were doing as far as mixing different animals and human this and he was revealing all kind of stuff. Even then, I knew that it still was the work of the enemy, even for him to be the one that brings it out. He was doing it still for Satan. So our men are taking on Satan's work and bringing it to the darkness of the Hebrew Israelite movement. You are not bringing anything that has to do with spirit and truth. Spirit and truth is the first and foremost thing people need to come to the knowledge of in these last evil dark days, midnight hour. Not so much as all this yang, 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 yang. Oh, I learned this. They did this. Okay, now that they did it, now that you've shown it, now what? What is it to do with the flesh of man? What is it for the flesh of man? Because that's all you gave it to, his flesh. It has no connection or medicine, none whatsoever for the spirit. So where do you go from there? Where do you want the people to go from there? After they know all the cares and the wicked of the world. Not understanding that all the search that you're finding, it's nothing lost. Ahia has already revealed all these things unto those that are elect. You just behind thinking you got something. Because Ahia don't want the elect to ride up on all this stuff that does not energize the spirit and give the spirit the food that it needs in such a midnight hour. So therefore you can go and you can get whatever history, you can go get what they done to us and all. What is it that you're going to gain in the spiritual realm that is eternal? What gifts or treasures are you building on the earth to know about what they doing in space? What they did in space? and how you have to give the people the food for the spirit first and foremost. Then you can add pieces and bits and pieces of what they're doing in the world. But first and foremost, teach the people spirit and truth. But then I in the back of my head, I'm still gripping what he said. Deborah, if I don't give it to them, they still without. So that's why they're giving people food for the flesh that cannot enhance anything for them. What is it to know what they did in space? What is it to know that you got a receipt to prove that you know what they did in the Atlantic, in the other end of this and the other end of that? What is it that you gain outside of pride, boasting, and receipts to make you prove that you found out some information? How wicked is that? It's wicked. It's worthless. It is worthless. You all must not have had a relationship with Solomon. Because if you did, Solomon tell you all of that is vain and vast. It's worthless. It's only the things in the spirit that is eternal. Build up your treasures in the heavens. And you best bet that crap y'all teaching ain't treasures for the heavens. So what is the purpose? What is the purpose? Everybody want to chase some history and don't even know their own history. So how can you chase the history and not know your own history? And your own history has nothing to do with your flesh. It has to do with spirit and truth of the whole matter. Because chasing your natural history ain't going to get it. It ain't going to bring peace. It ain't going to bring understanding. It is not going to bring revelations. It is not going to open the eyes of the blind. It's not going to awaken anyone. And that's what our men has taken on. And I think it's a sad, sad, sad situation. And the main thing that also ticks at me is, if they ever thought for 1 minute, let me rap, I'm a prophet. If I'm a man and I'm a prophet, I want to know what is the purpose of a woman that was called a prophetess. The best thing they would do is cancel out the prophetess and hold on to the prophet. If you as a prophet is not matching up with the prophet of yesterday, you need to stand your tail down. If you have not experienced what they have experienced and what they have gone throughout time, you need to stand your tail down. Because you have to have experience or have walked in the footprints of the prophets of yesterday. If you have not, that means you need to go back to the altar. You really need to go back to the altar of the Most High, because you are totally out of order. And everything you saying, everything you doing, everything you thinking, everything you feeling, and everything you're trying to teach people is totally out of order. Because it's not about your receipt and you being someone that somebody can look up to, or pride-minded, or boast because you feel you learned something, or you have something somebody else don't have, or you got information. That's the main thing. Most of them chase this thing about information. They think that they got information somebody else don't have, and they don't understand that's not it. It's not about what you have that somebody else don't have. It's about where do you stand in spirit and in truth. That's what it's about. Where do you stand? Where do you stand in righteousness? Spirit and truth speaks on behalf of Ahia, and Ahia only. Spirit and truth speaks the truth of the matter of all things. It don't turn around and make people feel that they're teaching something, or they have something that somebody else don't have, or they understand something that somebody else don't have. See how that flesh can rise up? And that's why a lot of them are teaching that yang, 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 is because they feel that teaching what they have, it's more benefit. It's benefit them more than anything.